Welcome to our special coverage of companies that are declaring quality earnings and offer yet another chance to create supernormal wealth in the long term as far as markets are concerned. Our guest for today is Mr. Ashok Atluri. He's the chairman and managing director of a multi-bagger stock called Zen Technologies. Good morning to you, Ashok ji, and a very warm welcome on Business Today. We'll just run with the numbers in a little while and then get to questioning. Ladies and gentlemen, a smart 93% uptick as far as first quarter revenue is concerned by Zen Technologies. Remember, it makes drones, it makes anti-drone systems, and of course is in the world of defense. 255 crores was the top line. Profit after tax rose 70% in the first quarter to 79 crore rupees versus 48 crore rupees a year ago. It's the margin at 44%, which slipped from about 52% over the last 1 year or so. Ashok ji, let's get into brass tacks as quickly as possible. Please tell us what was the reasons behind this sharp surge in top line. How did numbers grow up by 93%? Where did you get the orders from?
So I would say two things that have really propelled the orders are, the Ukraine-Russia war that has happened has caused a tremendous demand for training. Ukraine has been given tens of billions of dollars worth of equipment, but they're still losing the war against Russia. And the general assumption is that, these guys are getting the equipment, but they're not getting trained on that. Whereas a country with the 20th century equipment is able to beat the latest equipment. And so suddenly training has become very, very important worldwide. People are focusing on saying it's not the latest equipment that you need, but even if you have older equipment, but proper training is important. So that is one reason that we think that there's a huge demand, not only in India, but worldwide for simulators. And of course, the new threat is the drones. Drones have become extensively used for their ability to inflict asymmetric damage on the opposite force. For a $10,000 or maybe a $20,000 thing can destroy $1 million tank. So that's a kind of 100x kind of damage that we are seeing. So these are two factors. We think the prominence of drones in the wars and the requirement of training post Ukraine is two things that are propelling the order book position in our for Zen.
Right. Let's get to the core of the issue. Mr. Atluri, what is the order book at the end of the first quarter, and how many of those orders are from overseas customers?
Yes, so the total order book position is about 1,159 crores. So 1,159 crores, and out of that, export is about 437 crores, and domestic is 722 crores. That's the breakup.
Okay.
And
what was the order flow in the quarter gone by during the
total order that was executed was only for exports during the current year. During the current quarter, all the order was domestic order only. The 254 crores that we did was domestic. The export orders we expect to come in the next couple of quarters.
Okay, and what was the order win in the past 3 quarters?
So
past 3 months in the first quarter?
Yeah, that has been very minimal. Actually, we have been telling to our investors that the order book for the next, in fact, till the third quarter, we do not expect much orders. So in the last 3 months, we were about 11 crores, very, very small order. And the second quarter also, the order book orders may not come through. It's only the third and the fourth quarter that the substantial orders we will be getting, because it's a government-based thing, and this was the election year. So there is some push in the direction towards the third and the fourth quarter.
Fair point. Let's look at the stock performance of Zen Technologies. If you look at the stock price today at about 1656, the stock has given stellar returns over the last 3 years, over the last 1 year, as also the 5-year period. Mr. Atluri, it's been a fantastic performance if you look at how the stock price has appreciated over time. At the moment, the price earnings is somewhere like 85, and if you look at the price to book, you are trading at 25 times your book value. Of course, these are elevated levels as far as markets are concerned, but this is something that we are seeing across the board in all defense counters. Now tell us, with your interaction with the Indian Army as also the Indian Air Force, what is the kind of demand that you are seeing coming in? Is it for stimulators? Is it for drones or anti-drone systems? Where is the maximum demand coming in?
So I think in both the segments, the training and simulation and anti-drone segment, we see tremendous amount of orders coming in, both from the domestic segment and the export market. But specifically from the Indian Air Force, we have got a lot of demand for anti-drone systems. And because we primarily work on the Army simulators, even though we have supplied weapon-related simulators to both Navy and Air Force, our simulators are predominantly made for the armies of the world.
Fair point. When you look at your order book flow, you've mentioned that the total order book at 1160 crores, and of that 437 is from overseas customers. That makes the Indian export book at about 722 crores. How is it divided over the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force?
I would say out of the 722, maybe about 160 crores is Air Force, and the rest, most of it is from the Army.
Okay, so 160 is from the Air Force. That would make it about 562 crores coming in from the Indian Army. Fair point, sir. In terms of further expansion, what is the kind of capacity? Okay, fair point, sir. What is the capacity utilization that Zen Technologies enjoys at the moment at its manufacturing facilities?
So again, when we look at our complete supply value chain, we talk about the R&D and the engineering which is done in-house, and the actual production, once the prototype is finalized and the production unit is out, what we do is we outsource the production to the supply chain that we have. And so the supply chain, we have is reasonably has reasonable spare capacity, and we were just doing discussions with them, and we felt between 1500 to 2000 crore, up to the load of 1500 to 2000 crores, the supply chain would be able to take that load. So we are at 900 crores during the current year. So I think there is still some capacity, spare capacity there. But again, we keep looking at expanding our supply chain and getting in more competent suppliers into our supply chain.
Okay, fair point. If you look at the full year performance so far, you have a trailing 12-month of 562 crores on the top line, and profit after tax stands about 161 crores. For the current year, sir, would you estimate what the FY25 sales number and the profit after tax would be?
So we are hoping to do more than 900 crores, and we are saying that we should be able to achieve a PAT of 25%. So that is what we have been sharing with the investor.
Okay, so 225 crore PAT for the full year FY25, and 900 crores is the top line that you expect. Is that right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay. And you also have an enabling resolution to raise funds. Although you are a software company with little or no production factories, how much money do you intend to raise, and what would be the reasons behind it, the utilization of that money?
So the simulators and the anti-drone systems that we make have a lot of hardware in them. For example, you look at a tank simulator, we replicate the complete hardware of the tank. So like take a flight simulator, you have the whole plane. Of course, software is the predominant part of that, which you rightly guessed. So an anti-drone system is completely hardware system. Lot of hardware in it. But again, as I said, that we try to outsource as much as possible. And coming to your point about the enabling provision, yes, we have taken enabling provision for 1,000 crores. And the reasons why we may be raising this fund is to probably look at the working capital requirement, the probable acquisition, and more deeper R&D into certain fields that we feel have a lot of scope. So this could be the broad, and maybe the other general corporate purposes, but this will be the broad headings for we going after it.
Fair point. So 1,000 crores is the enabling resolution needed for acquisitions and of course working capital requirements. You have very little debt, 6 crores, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Mr. Atluri, you own about 55% stake in Zen Technologies, the promoters put together. Is there a chance that you might go below 50?
Yeah, so there is a possibility. I mean, if I raise, depending on the market cap that we have, so there is a possibility of we going. So we are not very really obsessed with that 51% mark that we should forever control the company kind of thing. We think that our objective is to make the pie bigger, so that every individual shareholder is benefited from that, rather than trying to keep control of the company at any cost.
Fair point. So the market capitalization of Zen Technologies is at the moment 13,500 crore rupees, and if you look at the full dilution, which Mr. Atluri points out is somewhere like 1,000 crores, that will be a 7.4% downtick from the current market capitalization. So about that's how the numbers stack up. Mr. Atluri, I'm sure you've been at the center stage of hundreds of calls coming in from stock market analysts, fund managers wanting to have a pie of Zen Technologies. A lot of defense related sector specific funds have also come up on Dalal Street. At this point of time, do you think this Goldilocks scenario that's happening for defense companies will last for say 3 or 5 years, or are we at the fag end of it?
I think I think we are really at the starting of it, and given my discussions with the armed forces and the Ministry of Defense, this government is extremely committed in placing a lot of orders, not only placing a lot of orders, but creating global champions where companies are owning the IP and creating products that are world class. So they want to feel proud about the product. So we can see that whenever we are going abroad, we are being pushed by the government of India. Listen, you have targets to achieve, not only in India but also abroad. So embassies, whenever we go, they are very completely open-minded. They push us. They say this is the demand, this is the requirements here, and they also understand what our products are, and they in fact they are I'm surprised they actually pitch for our products, which was unheard of before in the previous government. So this is a big thing that is happening. And to add to that, there was an interview with the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, and he was asked this question: what is the demand for simulators? And in that it was a Bharat Shakti conclave, and very clearly mentioned, listen, that we are in a big way moving on to simulator, and the process has started. So that is another confirmation from absolutely the top person that this is just the beginning, and not even a midpoint of that.
Absolutely. Mr. Atluri, I have been tracking defense for now several decades, and I can tell you slowly but surely large parts of the defense ecosystem are getting automated in terms of manning boundaries, manning the lines of control, and of course at the forefront of all this is companies such as yours. Let's just shift a little bit of focus and look at the kind of order expectations that you have in the third and the fourth quarter, which is about 6 months from here. You have an outstanding order book of 1160 crores. By the end of FY25, how much of this will be executed, and how much of fresh orders will come in the last 6 months?
So, we have already done 250. So we are expecting another 650 crores to be done in the next 3 quarters to, cross our 900 crore target. And we are hoping that, the order will be replenished enough to accommodate the growth of 50% CAGR that we are expecting. That would be again about 1,200 crores worth of orders, is what our expectation is. But we'll have to wait and see when do they come and how in which quarters do they come.
Okay, so let me just get this math right. Out of 1160, 650 crores will be executed over the next 6 to 9 months, and you expect an additional order flow of 1200 crores. Am I right, sir?
That is right, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this math right. FY24, the numbers that Zen closed the last financial year was a profit of 130 crores, which Mr. Atluri has said will move to 225 crore rupees by FY25, and the top line, which was at 440 crores at the end of March 2024, will move to 900 crore rupees. These are the numbers that Ashok ji has shared with our audience. Mr. Atluri, would you just confirm these?
Yeah, absolutely, you're right, yeah.
Okay, and how about margins now? There's been a dip from about 52% in the same quarter last year to 44% now. 44% is also phenomenal, but any guide path that you see these margins to by FY25, sir?
So we are, we have been saying from the beginning that, the conservative estimates that we are holding for PAT is about 25%, and for EBITDA is about 35%. So we stick to that. We don't see any reason to feel that it will go below that. But on an average, again, the margins depend very much on the product mix and the market mix. The market, when I say market,
yes,
export versus domestic. Export has higher margins than domestic. And when look at the products between anti-drone systems and simulators, anti-drone systems have lesser margin than simulators. And within simulators also we have broad range of products, and there also the percentage mix vary a lot.
Fair point. The new products that you've launched in the past quarter are Prahast, Hawkeye, Barbaric, and Stir Stab.
Yeah.
Could you just tell one line about each of them to our audience, Mr. Atluri?
So the Prahast is basically it's a robo dog. Actually, it will keep walking in the. It's a robotic dog that can carry a weapon and try to do the counterinsurgency operations. So that requires some work, and we have been showing it to other armed forces. So the second one is ultra remote control weapon control system, and this is basically the ability to automate the usage of the weapon and fire at the insurgents or the terrorists without the soldier getting exposed. Usually the soldier is standing behind the weapon and firing. In this case, they can be inside the gypsy or whichever or any other armored vehicle, and then they can actually fire remotely using the trigger and the joystick. So it's a very, very friendly thing. The others are, basically, the other is a camera that we have integrated with our anti-drone system. And this camera is basically, the one we have given is about, 10 kilometers, but the ability to detect up to 40 kilometers, which we have recently launched, is again a part of the anti-drone system. And this we have already supplied. In fact, this is one of the products that we have supplied. And finally, there is the stabilized sight that is, used for naval or other operations. So these are the 4 products that we have launched actually.
Right. With this, Ashok ji, we draw to a close as far as today's interview is concerned. Thank you so much for your time, and all the best to you. With companies such as you, citizens of India, sleep easy, and here's wishing you all the best for the lofty targets that you've set yourself, a profit after tax of 225 crores for the year to March 2025, and of course a top line of 900 crores plus an additional order win of 1200 crores. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Ashok Atluri, Chairman Managing Director of Zen Technologies Limited, one of the finest multi-baggers that we've seen in recent times in the defense space. The counter has appreciated to the extent of, just let me get you this number right, in the last 5 years, each year the counter has appreciated by 95%. They have a plan for a QIP 1000 crores in which they will be using that amount for acquisitions, for working capital and corporate development. That was Zen Technologies for you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay glued to Business Today Television for all the financial news updates that are coming in the market. Thank you so much for watching.